Hello there, it's Monday. Welcome along to Glasgow. Welcome along to the House of Games. I'm Richard Osman. I'm joined by four famous faces. Every time I press this buzzer, a new round comes up. I never know what it's going to be. They never know what it's going to be. What we do know is at the end of the week, somebody is winning this trophy. I'm afraid contractually they have to take it home. Awful though it is, our players are Grace Dent.
Hello.
Lauren Steadman. Kriss Akabusi. And Tim Lovejoy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Glasgow. Grace, how are you?
I'm really well. I'm kind of wondering what I've let myself in for, but I'm happy to be here.
What you've let yourself in for is spending a week with Kriss Akabusi. That's what you... that is what you've let yourself in for.
You can't buy that, though, can you?
You cannot buy it. You cannot. Lauren, welcome along. Listen, you're a competitive person, clearly. You've won everything there is to win. But how is your quizzing?
Not that good. There's a reason I've not done competitive quiz shows, so we'll see.
This is great so far. Nobody wants to win.
No.
There he is. The man himself. Kriss, how's your quizzing?
Yeah.
I hate to ask.
I'm very much looking forward to being the strongest man. I'm going to be holding everybody else up.
Yeah.
I Bagsy last. Don't worry about that one.
Wow, so far everybody is coming forth, Tim Lovejoy. What are we thinking about that?
Well, I'm up against a journalist, two athletes. I'm the underdog, but I think I'm going to win it, you know?
Confident.
I think you might win. Now, there is a trophy at the end of the week. There's also daily prizes as well. So whoever wins today will choose one of these. You could have the shower curtain, the fondue set, the cafetiere, the plant pot, or the dartboard. I mean, don't say we don't spoil you. Grace, what would you go for?
Dartboard, without a
Of course you would.
A
Lauren?
dartboard starts a party.
Shower curtain.
Really? Wow, you know what? People do not often say that. Kriss?
I'm definitely the plant pot. Yeah, the plant pot.
I am definitely the plant pot. says Kriss
There you
Akabusi.
go, there you go.
And Tim?
Dartboard.
Dartboard, of course. Listen, we've got a week of quizzing ahead of us. Should we start with round one on day one?
Yeah.
Best place to start. Our first round this week is... Rhyme time. Two questions. They rhyme with each other. Fingers on buzzers, everyone. Here are your first two. Actor who played James Bond in No Time to Die. And Dutch city, location of the International Court of Justice. Tim.
Oh.
Daniel Craig, The Hague.
Daniel Craig, The Hague. That's correct, Daniel Craig, The Hague. They rhyme to Grace Dent's annoyance, who's a second behind you. Next two. US band whose songs include Last Night and The Adults Are Talking, and Channel 4 soap set in Chester. Kriss.
So, Dowell and Oaks, something Hollyoaks and...
Hollyoaks. And what's
something
the
and
band?
Oaks. The
It is
band.
not, I'm afraid. Hollyoaks you got, but... Tim, I think you're giving it to him.
The Strokes, Hollyoaks.
The Strokes and
No,
Hollyoaks we were looking
yes.
for. The Strokes and Hollyoaks.
How did I not know? Oh.
Next two. French national heroine known as the Maid of Orleans, and Game of Thrones character played by Maisie Williams. Yes, Grace.
Joan of Arc and Arya Stark.
Joan of Arc, Arya Stark? Absolutely. Joan of Arc, Arya Stark, Grace Dent is off the mark. There we go.
Hey, boom, boom.
Next two. Snoopy's owner. And what is the title of this song? Grace.
It's Charlie Brown and Funky Town.
Charlie Brown, Funky Town. Absolutely right. Lip sync, Funky Town, and Charlie Brown. Next two. Renaissance artist who painted The Birth of Venus. And long, flat pasta ribbons with a name from the Italian for to cut. Grace.
Botticelli and Tagliatelle.
Botticelli, Tagliatelle. That's exactly what it is.
That's very good.
Botticelli, Tagliatelle. Final question in this round. Who is this? And what is this? Grace.
It's Jimmy Nail, obviously. And it's like, oh, it's a humpback whale. I don't...
What's a humpback whale?
This is it.
Tim.
Thank you, Grace.
I know.
Jimmy Now, killer whale.
Jimmy Nail, killer whale? Absolutely right, Tim. Very well done.
Thanks, Grace.
Let's take a look at our first leaderboard of the week, shall we? Kriss and Lauren are both yet to get off the mark. Grace and Tim, joint leaders with 3. Well done. Let's take a look at our first pairs game of the week, shall we? It's going to be... distinctly average. The player in last place always chooses their partner in a pairs game. Kriss, you're tied 3rd at the moment. Who would you like to play this round with?
I'm going to be with Tim.
You're going to play with Tim. So Kriss and Tim are a team, Lauren and Grace are a team. If you take your tablets out, please, everybody. And now in this round, I'll ask you a series of questions. You just need to write down an estimate of an answer, and I will take the average of each pair as your answer, OK? Whichever pair is closest to the real answer scores a point. Your first question is this. How many golf courses are there in England?
England, not United Kingdom.
Yeah, just England, yeah. And that's, yeah, proper golf courses, not crazy golf.
I was about to
Like
say.
a proper, yeah.
There's a lot of those.
Nothing with a windmill. What do we think at home on this one? Everyone in? Grace, did you have any thoughts on this?
I'm from Carlisle in Cumbria,
Gotcha.
and I think we've only got about 2 golf courses.
OK. The Cumbrian Golf Association might have something to say about that.
And for that reason,
Yeah.
I think that there's about 87.
87.
Wow.
Listen, what we try and do on a Monday, Kriss, is hide our disdain. That's what...
I think that there might be more than you think.
Yeah. Thinking on
I
it, there
just
might
went
be
in
more than
big.
87. Lauren, what are you saying? Up or down from 87?
Slightly higher.
3,400, says
Yeah.
Lauren. So your average
Yeah.
is 1,743 and a half.
That might be OK, though.
There's a 9-holer there. Kriss, are you a golfer?
I love my golf. Golf doesn't always love me, but I love my golf. I play off 14. What I'm going to say is Grace and Lauren, I've blown your number out the water, so I'm probably wrong. But I decided 1,000, and I cut this down.
OK.
1,815. One of those random numbers that you come up with.
815, Kriss is saying. Tim, up or down from that?
I've gone a little bit too high. Now
Okay.
I've thought about it, and I panicked.
Yeah.
So I've gone 5,000, which is very high. But I
5,000?
was...
Is that high?
Well, it's high in comparison to the others.
Oh, it's high in comparison
Yeah.
to
I'm
the
feeling
others.
a bit stupid.
But I think a couple of those are quite low. So your average gentleman, 3,400. So we've got 1,700, 3,400. What do you think at home? How many golf courses are there in England? Which team has scored the first point?
What?
2,270. Grace and Lauren, you get yourself a point. Here is your next question. In US dollars, how much money did Ed Sheeran's Divide tour make by the time it finished in August 2019?
Me and my dad went to watch him in Wembley. And
In that
we
tour?
estimated how much we thought he made in one night in Wembley. We did the maths.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know.
And then it's just how many gigs did he do?
Oh, wait a minute there, I've forgotten now.
So apart from the fact we don't know how many gigs he did and you've forgotten how much you thought he made.
It was a lot for
Yeah.
that one night.
What do we reckon at home on this one? Ed Sheeran's tour, how much money do you think that made? Everyone in? Kriss Akabusi, what are you thinking here?
Ed is the man. He's really, really large at this moment in time. So I've gone Big Willie style, 25 million.
25
Gross,
million.
25 million.
Tim, you gone up from that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone 30 million, so in the same sort of ballpark. I
30
suppose.
million, says Tim. So your average is $27.5 million. Grace, you going up from that?
Yeah, I've gone much bigger because I'm thinking he must have sold a lot of merchandise.
Yeah.
And he was only playing the very, very biggest places.
The Enormodomes.
So I'm going 250 million.
250 million. I'd go big, I think. I'd be somewhere up in the stratosphere. Lauren, you went one night. It was good, I'm assuming.
Yeah. But I think I got my zeros wrong.
OK, great.
We're gonna have a very big number. I'm up at 600 million.
600 million?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound... Yeah, I mean,
No,
it's a
because I
lot
think
of
I
money,
meant 60 million. If I'm thinking about the maths that me and my dad did were clearly bad maths.
So your average, Grace and Lauren, is 425 million. We've got 27 million, we've got 425. It was a big old tour. It's like years, wasn't it? And he's making a lot of money. Let's find out how much money did that tour make and who has scored a point. $776 million that tour grossed. Highest grossing tour of all time, according to the Guinness World Records.
Wow.
We put the wrong gig.
Did it all himself.
Ed.
Yeah, why on earth were you a hurdler instead of an international pop star? Final question in this round. Set in 2013 by Dalibor Jablanovic, what is the world record for the most spoons balanced on the face?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, Kriss, this is your...
Oh, you're a record breaker.
It's your old job, isn't it?
Exactly.
But you've done...
Teaspoons?
Spoons.
Tablespoons?
I imagine as small a spoon as possible would be how I'd approach it.
Yeah.
What do you think at home on this one? How many spoons on the face? Lauren, we will start with you. What are you thinking here?
I've gone for 113.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see how it's possible, but it must be
But do
a
the
big
ears
number.
count? I'm going...
Yeah, ears. Grace, up or down from that?
I'm regretting that I went lower because I forgot about ears. But I'm saying
about
44. But I still think that's quite a lot.
Yeah,
but,
it's still a lot,
But I've
yeah.
got a feeling that it's a he.
I have a feeling it's a he.
Yeah, and he's got kind of a bumpy face, and you can put them on all
maybe.
different places.
So your average, Lauren and Grace, is 78.5. Are you going to
that
get
feels-
all 3 points in this round? Kriss, what are you thinking about that?
Well, I'm thinking of very, very popular bean variety. Not quite sure why. I've gone, you're 57.
57, says Kriss. Tim, up or down from that?
It's down. I've learned on this game. It's taken me a while, but we're doing the average, aren't we? So
Yeah.
I thought I thought I'd go lower this time to try and average it out, and
Gotcha.
I've gone 35. So
35.
35. But Kriss, I thought would go a lot higher than that. You see, so I thought
Oh, that's very restrained for Kriss, wasn't it?
yeah, I thought Kriss would go up high, and I would go low. But we've both
Kriss goes high, you go low.
Yeah.
So your average, gentlemen, is 46. We're 46 and 78. They both look convincing, don't
Yeah,
they?
we've done it.
Lauren and Grace, are you going to win all 3 points in this round? Kriss and Tim, have you pulled one back? Let's find out. What is Dalibor's record and who's won the final point?
Oh, Kriss!
Timbo, you've got me off the mark, Timbo.
31. There it is. That's the end of the round. Tablets away, please, one and all. And let's take a look at our leaderboard. Everybody is off the mark now. 1 for Kriss, 2 for Lauren, 4 for Tim. Our leader, Grace Dent, with 5 points. 3 rounds to go before we find our first champion of the week. Our next round is... Games House of. In this round, I'll read you some questions. You have to give me your answers in alphabetical order. So if the question was, what's your name, you would have to answer Dent Grace. Fingers on buzzers, or buzzers fingers on. Catherine Earnshaw and Heathcliff are characters in which novel by Emily Bronte? Tim.
Heights Wuthering.
Heights Wuthering. Correct. Wuthering Heights. From Heights Wuthering. Next one. Jim Carrey plays a man who discovers he is the star of a reality TV show in which 1998 film? Tim.
Show the Truman.
Show the Truman. Exactly right. Well done. The Truman Show becomes Show the Truman. Next one. What is the title, please, of this song? Tim, just beating Grace to the buzzer.
Sunshine Walking. Oh, no, sorry.
Is incorrect.
Oh, no!
Lauren.
On Sunshine Walking.
On Sunshine Walking is the correct answer. Very well done. Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves becomes On Sunshine Walking. Next question is... Sarah Michelle Gellar played the title role in which television series set in the fictional town of Sunnydale? Yes, Grace.
Buffy the Slayer Vampire.
Is incorrect.
Ah!
Tim.
Buffy Slayer the Vampire.
Buffy Slayer the Vampire? It's absolutely right. Well done. Next question. Who is this? Yes, Grace.
Bonham Carter Helena.
Bonham Carter Helena? Correct, BCH. Bonham Carter Helena is Helena Bonham Carter in alphabetical order. Next question. What is the title, please, of this song?
A friend of a friend, he got beaten. He looked the wrong way, it's a policeman.
Yes, Grace.
I predict riot.
See, that's the focus I was looking for. Perfect. I predict riot. Kaiser Chiefs, or Chief Geysers. I predict a riot. Well played, Grace. Final question in this round. In 1990, Ian Hislop and Paul Merton became team captains on which BBC TV panel show? Good luck, Tim.
4 have I.
No, incorrect, I'm afraid. Yo.
Come on, Chris. Come on.
No. Got?
Do you know what, Chris? Thank you for trying. Lauren.
Have?
Is incorrect. Well,
What? Oh,
4.
Grace, you
well,
fancy it?
look,
Come on.
4
4.
got, have, I, news, you. I've missed a word.
Grace Dent, you got it exactly right. Well done. 4 got, have I news you? Got, have I news you? Have I got news for you in alphabetical order? Very well done. It's the end of round 3. Let's take a look at what it's done to our leaderboards. Chris, you still have 1. Lauren with 3. Tim with 7. Grace still out in the lead with 8 points. 1 point lead. 2 rounds to go.
Oh,
Was that taken out of you?
this show is exhausting.
Honestly, people don't normally say that on Monday. Your next round is... Where is Kazakhstan? If you could take your tablets out, please. I'm going to show you a map, and today your map is this. Britain and Ireland. I need you to find various things on this map now, please. The first thing I need you to find is the inspiration for the fictional location of Greendale in the children's TV series Postman Pat. Where is that on the map of Britain and Ireland, please? OK, what do you think at home on this one? You can picture what it looks like, the rolling hills and what have you. Grace, what are you thinking here?
I think it's Yorkshire.
I was thinking maybe North Yorkshire or...
And I think it's somewhere where there's hills and dales.
Yeah, well, you're pretty much exactly on the North York moors.
There you go.
So, yeah. Lauren, what were you thinking?
I've gone slightly lower, but in the same area.
Humbury, Hully sort of area. Chris, Postman Pat fan?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
So I think, again, I'm in the same sort of area. I'm thinking in particular Richmond, Bedale, North Allerton.
Yeah. All right.
In that little area
Isn't
there.
Mr. Yorkshire here?
Yeah. Most definitely thinking there.
Yeah, kind of York sort of area. We're all in the same place. Tim,
Yeah,
4 for 4 in Yorkshire.
I've gone, again, Yorkshire, but I think I'm still in Yorkshire, but I've gone lower. Pure guesswork, slightly lower.
Yeah, sort of on the Lincolnshire-Yorkshire border, maybe.
Yeah.
We are in pretty much all in Yorkshire there. It is not set in Yorkshire. That is not the inspiration for it. It's set somewhere where one of our panellists comes from. It's set in Cumbria.
Is it?
Near
Oh,
Keswick,
my
yeah.
gosh.
So let's see who's closest. That is Grace. Well done. Yeah, but you strayed close to Cumbria.
Yeah, you see, that's my
It's
bad geography.
near Kendal in Cumbria. Here's the next thing we're looking for. The town with protected geographical indication for its smoked haddock known as smokies. That means that, you know, when you're the only town that's allowed to make something with that name. So there's only one town in Britain that can make smokies. What is that town and where is that town? That feels like a good question for a food critic. Grace?
Yeah, but I don't know where it is on the map.
Yeah. Everyone in. What do you think at home on this one? Lauren, we'll start with you. Where do you think smokies might be from?
I've never heard of that ever, so I've decided to go in the middle of Scotland.
Stirling-ish, that is. Chris, do you know where a smoky is from?
I didn't ken, Jim, but I'm sure that it's a Scottish flavour.
You should do a Scottish accent then.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been a
Don't
much
worry,
better
I've been
idea.
dropping it all week. I've been dropping it
Yeah.
in my old accent. Just bear with me. And I've gone for, I think, it's Dumfriesshire, down on the border somewhere. Yay!
Yeah, Dumfries and Galloway, absolutely. Tim,
I've gone north. There's a lot of fishing going on the northeast coast.
yeah.
So I assume...
Middlesbrough, yeah.
Yeah, up that way.
Grace, as one of our leading food critics, do you know the answer to this? In terms of where it's from?
Tim's making me doubt myself now. Are we talking about Arbroath?
I mean, that was my first thought, was Arbroath. I've heard of an Arbroath smoky.
I'm thinking it's Arbroath, and I'm thinking that that is in Aberdeenshire.
Yeah, you're just sort of...
Up
yeah,
to there.
yeah, just north of Aberdeen.
Tim, you're making me doubt myself. Is it an English thing?
No.
Let's find out, shall we? What do you think at home? Well, it is an Arbroath smoky. Arbroath is in Scotland, but where in Scotland is Arbroath and who scored a point? Lauren scores the point by a couple of pixels. Well done.
I was like, average,
Yeah.
boom.
Literally, the only person who said to me, I've just put it in the middle of somewhere. Well played, Lauren. A point to you. Final thing I want you to find in this round, please, is this. The location of Latitude Festival. Where is Latitude Festival, please? Anyone been?
Yeah. Yeah.
I went once with the kids. We stayed in like a big tent. It was good fun.
Did you go for swimming in the sea?
Nice try.
What could you see when you
Naughty,
looked at...
naughty, naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty.
Everyone is in. Kriss Akabusi.
I haven't got a clue where Latitude is. I know there's a festival in Reading. So I've just bunged it in Reading.
You going in Reading? Yeah, sort of Winchestery, Reading-y. Tim Lovejoy, what were your thoughts?
None.
Great.
Completely blank. I just assumed it'd be south because for no reason at all. Purely plucked somewhere out of nowhere.
Tell you where you are there, Tim, my friend. You're in Swindon.
Swindon. So I was supposed to be there. Winchester.
Grace, you've been to this festival. Does that help?
Latitude is in Suffolk, I think. And I don't know where Suffolk is on the map, even though I've been there loads and loads of times. And I've stuck it somewhere, and I'm sorry.
It is definitely not
I'm
Bristol.
sorry.
So sorry.
You're sort of Essex-y there. And Lauren, do you know this one?
I don't, but I've gone a little bit near Wales, a little bit down south, a little bit up.
Lovely, let's see where you are. In the Cotswolds. You are there. Well, it is in Suffolk, for sure. But who is closest to
Grace.
Suffolk? It's Grace again. Well done.
Thank you.
It's kind of out towards Southwold sort of area,
Yes.
sort of on the edge of Suffolk. Very nice. That's the end of round 4. Tablets away, please, everybody. We have one round to go, and that is Answer Smash. So who is in pole position going into our last round? Well, Grace Dent is very much in pole position. Kriss, still off the mark.
Cheers,
Taking
Tim.
it away. Lauren, you got 4. Tim, 7. Grace Dent, 10 points. 2-point lead going into the final round, Grace. Our final round, as ever, is... Answer Smash. Fingers on buzzers, please. Point for a correct answer. Don't forget, you lose a point if you buzz in and give me an incorrect answer in this round. Here we go. Your first category is cooking ingredients. Those will be the pictures, so there'll be a clue above. Smash the clue into the picture. Here's your first one. Who was UK Prime Minister from 1940 until 1945 and from 1951 to 1955? That is Kriss.
Winston Churchill.
Absolutely right. So Winston Churchill and Chile, Winston Churchill. The next question, next picture. In a 1992 horror film and a 2021 sequel that was co-written by Jordan Peele, which character appears when the name is spoken 5 times in front of a mirror? Nobody. Shall I tell you? I'm looking for Candy Manchovies.
No chance.
Candyman and anchovies, Candy Manchovies. Next category is film actors. Those will be the pictures. There'll be clues above. The spiritual head of Tibetan Buddhism, Tenzin Gyatso, is known by what title? Yes, Grace.
The Dalai Lama Mackenzie Crook.
The Dalai Lama Mackenzie Crook. Grace, well done.
Grace, you're going to need to lay down in a minute. You're gonna...
Next clue, next picture. Which Mexican dish of a filling wrapped in a tortilla takes its name from the Spanish word for a little donkey? Nobody. I'm looking for burrito Nicolette. Burrito and Tony Collette, burrito Nicolette. Next one. The Arthur Miller play, The Crucible, is set in which town in Massachusetts? Oh, Grace has gone for it.
I'm gonna. It's because it's Salem, and that's Salem. It's Emily, but I can't think of Emily's second name, and now I'm going to lose a point.
Oh, no.
This is devastated. I can't think of Emily's second name.
OK, we'll time you out.
And that.
Let's take a look at the answer. Salem Emily Blunt. Salem and Emily Blunt. Salem Emily Blunt. Any more categories today? There are none. Not a huge amount of points scored in that final round, I'll be honest with you. So, Grace, I think you might have held on to your 3-point lead there, even with that incorrect answer at the end. Let's find out, shall we? Our first champion on this week's House of Games is Grace Dent by 3 points. Well played, Grace.
Thank you.
Grace, you won a prize. Which of these would you like?
I want the dartboard.
And with a dartboard, Grace Dent takes home the House of Games dartboard. Well played, Grace. Let's take a first look at our weekly leaderboards. You'll see Grace at the top of it with 4, and you'll see Kriss doing that typical athletes thing, keeping his powder dry, just 1 point at the bottom there. Thank you so much for today. Should we do the same thing tomorrow?
I love that.
Look forward to seeing you ever so much. We look forward to seeing you as well on the House of Games.
It's going to go at the end of the living room.
Oh, yes, perfect. You need a House of Games dartboard in your living room.
For parties.
It's going in the shed.